Wow. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here, and I just want to thank all of you. I want you all to give a round of applause to yourselves because we are here. And we are coming through COVID. We are here with Moms Demand Action representatives. We are here with family and friends to celebrate the community that is Haddonfield. I want to thank my fellow commissioners, past and present, neighbors, family members, friends, and guests, our electeds and fellow dignitaries who are here this evening. I also want to thank my husband, Anthony, who has been by my side, and my campaign manager, and oftentimes the only member of my campaign team late at night. And I also want to thank Luca and his friends who are here tonight being very well behaved. Good job, good job. So tonight I choose what so many of you wanted to do in 2019 and what you chose again to do in 2021, and that is to focus on the goodness, to focus on greatness, which is right here in front of all of us. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge several people who have supported me in my professional career and in my more recent roles as public servant, as a mother, as a wife, and of course along the way as a daughter, sister, friend, neighbor, and volunteer. Former Mayor Jack Tarditi is here. I saw him back there somewhere. And I see Barbara, his beautiful wife. And I just want everyone to know that when I moved to Haddonfield in 2015 and I thought about getting involved in community service, the first person I called was Jack Tarditi. And Jack didn't say, "Bug off, kid." He said, "What do you want to do? Let's talk about how you can give back." And for those of you who don't know, Jack and I then connected and worked together on the Lions Club and in the Celebrations Association, which is the organization of volunteers who selflessly give of their time to plan our 4th of July parade, which hopefully is soon to return, our Halloween celebrations, our tree lighting, and so much more. And I think it's fitting that we recognize Jack and Barbara's generosity of spirit. The ways in which they both give of their time and their treasure is something that we all should strive for. May we as a community be as committed as Jack and Barbara to supporting the causes closest to our hearts and those we care about most in Haddonfield and beyond. I also want to give a shout out to my father-in-law. I know not many people give a shout out to their in-laws, but he's right over there. And Lou Bezich, and he's also known as Lucas Dida. And if you come over on Halloween, he'll be dressed up as Chase from Paw Patrol. Lou has long been to me, almost 20 years now, what many women in male-dominated professions like the law and like public service are not fortunate enough to have. And that is a mentor who offered counsel and constructive criticism that was not based on my looks and that was not based on misogyny, but that was based on my own abilities and my intellectual capacity. Tonight, I call all of us to action to provide safe, supportive roles in the lives of those we work with, with our classmates, with our friends, our neighbors, and of course our family and those we hold dear. Tonight, I was honored when Assemblywoman Pamela Lampett administered my oath of office. When I was a new mom, I was in the throes of some really terrible postpartum anxiety and depression, and I also succumbed to PTSD. And for some reason, because I'm this crazy, I decided I needed more on my plate. And so I called Pam's chief of staff, and I called Pam, and I said, "Assemblywoman, will you please meet with me?" And she did. And we actually met right down the street at the Haddonfield Starbucks for over an hour. And we talked about motherhood, we talked about working as moms, we talked about building communities, we talked about giving back, little ways, large ways, always. And Pam is the one who said to me, "You can make your own way." She encouraged me to try a land use board or a civic organization, just as Jack had done. And so I volunteered for our zoning board. And as Pam said, I could take grace, give myself grace to find my own way. A few years later, in the summer of 2019, I sat at Inkwood Books, surrounded by many of the women I see here tonight, like Jamie and Christina and Lori and others. And I apologize because I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see everyone. But so many of these women were here, all of us committed to our community, no two of us with the same experiences, but all of us eager to lead by example, all of us deserving of a seat at the table. If not for the support of that group of women, those 15 or 20 of us, I would never have considered running for commissioner in 2019. And I certainly would not stand before you tonight as your newest and second female mayor. So I want to credit those women, in addition to my mom and my sister and my mother-in-laws, plural, and Tish, who sits before us, former mayor, who have all stood up and taught me what it is to lead. May we all be committed to lifting up others as you have done. Today is a very sad day for many other reasons. 1 year ago today, George Floyd was murdered. And for many, including myself, in the wake of his death, the focus on our youth and our children, like those sitting right here, is what gives me the greatest sense of hope for social justice, both locally, within Haddonfield, and across the country. Months later, Kamala Harris, the first woman, the first Black South Asian woman, was elected Vice President of the United States of America. And this gave me, and all of us, even more reason to be hopeful that equality is also within reach. Tonight is a celebration of our community, of the individuals among us, like Frank and Kevin, our staff, our first responders, our essential frontline workers, our healthcare heroes, so many of you here today. You and the children in front of me make us better as a whole. You, the kids sitting right here, and the kids who were left at home tonight for bedtime and bath time and dinner time, will go on to achieve goodness and greatness that we can't even imagine. Tonight, I invite you, my fellow neighbors, my friends, my family, our special guests, join me as we continue to fight against COVID-19, but at the same time, envision a bright future for this borough and beyond. Let us honor the rich history and traditions that make Haddonfield so wonderful. But let's also embrace progress rather than attack it. Join me in welcoming increased diversity, in acknowledging, celebrating, and making space for those who have traditionally been discriminated against, marginalized, left behind. And let's refrain from the instinct to fear what is new, different, or non-traditional. As the second woman to ever serve as mayor here, behind only Mayor Tish Columbi, I am honored, I am humbled, and I am beyond excited to lead our borough for the next 4 years. I could not be more excited to work with Kevin and Frank. And as Frank called you all to action and Kevin reminded you to have a fresh perspective, please join us and let's get to work.